Oh, I am on the wrong display capture now because I changed all my stuff.
Oh.
There we go. Problem solved. Okay, so when we left off last session, we had left off with you guys traveling your 9 days to Syrinlya to go find the buyer. And that was what Elro had told you before you all left. You traveled an uneventful 8.5 days on the 9th, or whatever it is, on the 9th morning, and you guys are pulling up to the ice bank to this village. A very territorial orca decided to wreak havoc on your ship, and it was apparently a lot stronger than we expected it to be. And sunk a hole in your ship, but you managed to like get it to shore before the ass end kind of sunk into the freezing cold water. But all of you like bailed out, and you kind of have this half sunken ship sitting on the shore. So, and that is where we are going to start our session. So,
Tyler's still on the boat, as you can see.
yeah, sure he is. What do you guys want to do?
I can kind of fly, float things.
You can do that
Didn't
fancy
see.
levitation thing down to the ground, like, this is beneath me, to jump off the ship.
It's literally beneath him.
Yeah. Pun intended.
There's an individual that approached us that was helping getting all the guys off of the ship, right? Weren't they like the ones who were supposed to be liaisoning with?
Yes, we will move this person to the token later. So, wow, my screen just like glitches out really bad. So the person that is on the shore goes, well, that looks like quite the adventure. And she kind of has her arms folded across and looks at you guys as everything's like disembarked and things are kind of settling down now.
It sure was, lady. It sure was.
What happened?
Killer orca.
Oh yeah, we've been watching that family out in the icy waters for weeks. The kids love it in the mornings.
Nice that you let people on boats know about those things.
How would you like me to have let people know about that? Do you think I just have a magic spell that just goes, hey, there's orcas here and I can predict the future on every person that's going to come to my small little town?
Well, the fact that we
Make a sign, lazy.
someone communicated with you to let you know that we were meeting you. Obviously, you could have said, "Hey, we got killer orcas in our area."
Just gonna write skywrite in the sky. Giant orcas, beware. For you guys.
Killer
Kill the
giant
orca?
orcas.
Can you what?
We killed the orca.
Did we kill the orca?
Yeah, you did.
Oh boy, hope the kids didn't see that.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Oh,
I mean, there's no kids on the shore right now, so
Okay.
it's just her and your guys' crew, and they're like they've salvaged what they can off the ship. But you now have like, I want to say it would take like 15 people to man the ship. So there's like a ton of people on the shore. Some of them are very, very cold and very, very wet from being underneath, rowing through the ice cold water.
I think we were lighting fires, weren't we? We left off.
I don't remember that, but if that's what you guys would like to do to warm up, that's fine. Because I think Typhondralos was underneath, barricading the hole with his body.
Yep.
And
Trying to do as much as possible.
yeah, and I think you were the only one that was actually underneath, so you're actually only the one that came in contact with the icy cold water. But yeah, the crew definitely did. So, and they're like shivering, shaking. Some of them are like, What are we doing now?
This is when I realized that I left my parents.
Do you just like sit on the ice?
Have a mental breakdown.
Pretty little baby.
Someone make this poor guy a fire so he can have his existential breakdown and at least be warm at the same time.
So Morok Delwar is our contact, right? Or is it?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and
How close is in your settlement from where we're at?
oh, not very far, like a couple minutes walk.
Perhaps instead of making a fire here at the camp and on the shoreline in the ice, we should go find a house with a nice dry roof above us.
I actually have a perfect idea for that if you guys do want to come back. It can't fit all of you. And she kind of looks over at the crew, but it can fit the 4 of you comfortably. We'll definitely have to figure out what we're doing with the crew and this boat.
Yeah, I
Though.
was thinking that they were gonna be on the boat the majority of the time we were here. Wasn't expecting to be trying to house them.
One of the crew members pipes up and goes, "Yeah, it wasn't exactly our plan either to have our boat sink."
Shush! I didn't say it was.
And like you see the captain like look over and give him a death glare, and he's just like, "Sorry, Captain."
Wasn't exactly our plan to have it sink either, a-hole.
What
And
if
then
we
the-
overturn the boat and make
You
that
think
into a
I
house?
just said, "Hey, kill a orca, come destroy our boat"?
Yeah.
The captain then turns his attention to you and is like,
We go like.
"Do you want to pay for the
like
repairs?
Zero from holes.
Because
Exactly,
I
we-
don't have any idea of how to fix this. Like, I don't
If-
make boats, I steer boats."
Well, neither do I. But I
If we
also
take the
have
boat
a
and we
boat.
over-end it, we would have something of a roof and a shelter of what's left of the boat.
That's
my
a
God.
pretty big boat.
You know what's ridiculous is I actually have to buy my bring out my pirate compendium for how much this boat weighs.
I don't think we are doing that today.
No, but if you guys are
I
gonna,
use levitate to lighten it, and we got
I
15
still don't.
guys.
Right.
I mean,
And
listen,
some rope.
How did it get
and
in
the
the water?
will.
It can be done.
Yeah.
I doubt they had only 15 people doing it with the levitation spell.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they had a lot more than that.
I am looking
We
up.
weren't
So you
trying to
guys discuss
fix the boat.
strategy. I'm trying to find
Let's not
boat
listen to the
statistics.
guy who wants to go home to his mummy.
Right.
I don't want to go home to my mummy. I want to go home to
No
take care of my
man
mummy.
things here, sir.
Then take care of their parents, you butthole. Babies don't and take care of only themselves.
I can definitely see that it's starting to stress you out just a little bit.
I
Does
don't
the
have no parent, Andrew. I mean,
What? They're not the reason why you don't. So why you gotta take that out on me?
I just don't know these things.
Then why are you trying to make comments on it?
I said
your
I'm not
your
that
ship your ship is weighs how
A lot.
it's a lot. I'm
divided
trying to
by
just
half the ship's gone.
okay, so
Well,
it's 75 tons.
I don't think we're
Whoa.
less than that, people.
What?
Whoa.
As far
It's
as
a
what I'm
big
looking
boat.
at,
That's a big old ship.
there's
Have you seen how small you are on the boat?
I'm looking to make sure I'm giving you guys the right one.
We had that many dudes moving that?
Well, that's what I'm like trying to confirm because there's a lot of
boats
boat
are a lo-
information.
Well,
So-
boats are a lot easier to move in
We
the
need like a
water.
Viking longboat.
Well, do you see how many paddles there are? Boats are a lot
So,
easier to
okay.
move when they're
So
inbound.
this is what I have. And this is the improv side of it. So I have a galley, and I know nothing about boats, so I could really use your guys' help. So I have a galley, I have a junk ship, I have a keel boat, a long ship, a raft, a rowboat, a sailing ship, a ship's boat, and a warship.
Look at the picture of a galley boat.
Closer
That
to
looks a lot like a galley
sailing
boat,
ship
actually.
with no sail.
It looks
It says
closer
a
to
galley
a galley
is a
ship,
type
but
of ship that is propelled mainly by rowing. The galley is characterized by its
I did
long,
not know
slender
that,
hull.
yeah.
Okay, so if it's a galley boat, it weighs, yeah, it still weighs 150 tons, loaded with
Yeah.
250 passengers.
all right, I don't think we have 250 passengers on the boat. I mean, it might be like a longboat, which is like typically what a Norse, a Norse boat would be.
A long ship?
A longship, thank you, not longboat.
Yeah.
Something.
That weighs 50 tons,
Listen,
so 25
very
tons.
long.
Carries up to 100
No matter how you
passengers.
want to classify
Yeah,
it,
no, it's
we aren't
heavy.
gonna be
So
able
we're
to
gonna
turn
go.
this thing over.
I'm gonna make the executive decision. We're gonna go with a long ship, and that's what this was. So it's, which actually matches for what I was having you guys move it anyways. So the crew is 50 people. 40 of them were rowers. So 40 of them are suffering a point of exhaustion. 10 are the rest that were on the deck, and then you guys. And the ship weighs 25 tons.
Yeah, I don't think we'll
Oh boy.
as the water.
Does the ship have a carpenter?
Does someone have carpentry skills? Who's been
Is
on a
there
ship
like a-
before?
Yeah,
No, I mean,
is
like,
there
the crew should have a carpenter who works with the ship.
Correct.
someone who's probably a rower, but also is also like the one who fixes things?
Correct. They would, and that would be one of the 10 people. So the problem is that how would you get the boat out?
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna get this boat out of the water to try to fix it.
We just need enough boat wood to make a little shack. There's probably little pieces of wood,
No, to
large
fix it.
pieces of wood, debris.
Well,
Oh,
I
I'm
think we only have half a boat, so
Yes,
I'm not
you
sure we
gotta
can
get
fix
the
this
boat.
and make it seaworthy.
You gotta get the boat out of the water to fix it. You can't be trying to fix it when it's underwater.
Yeah, you
I'm
have
not
to
trying
dry
fix
dock
the
it,
boat.
essentially.
I'm trying to house the men so we can leave.
I'm not worried about them.
Damn.
Wow.
Well,
Take them to the village. They wouldn't be able to stay with us.
Mister, be a man and care about people.
Parents and myself.
Very
And my
specific
crew.
people, not these guys, the other people.
are you guys okay?
Only people
Are you
with
guys?
my name.
Hold on. Let's back up for a second. Are you guys being blunt about this conversation? Or are you having like a team huddle right now? Because if you guys
Team
are
huddle.
having, and I assume this is low voices trying to figure out what you're doing.
Yeah, we're having a conversation
Okay.
away from the crew.
We have just become.
Because if you guys were just openly discussing this, I was gonna say y'all are assholes. Like, and the captain would be like, "Dear God, what the heck, man?" But all right, so you guys can think about this going forward. Morag kind of goes, "Well, are we going or are we staying?" And she kind of like looks at you guys, and you're like team huddle, and you're all different heights, so it's funny to see like Typhondralos like tucked in and like a couple people on tiptoes or whatever trying to like balance out the height in your team
Yeah,
huddle.
Well, I think we'll deal with the boat a little later. Let's all get all of these people
Right.
to the village, and we'll figure out what to do with them once we're there.
Mm-hmm.
Morag kind of goes, "Well, let's get going then." So I'm going to move you guys to the Syrinlya map that I cannot say that city very well. So you guys should all
Wow.
see that. I will move you
That's a
guys
mouthful.
out onto the correct layer would be good.
Wow, we're huge here. We're giants.
Yeah.
Welcome. I can't
So-
move my character.
Can't move your character?
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, and maybe I'm trying to move the wrong character.
Did you forget what your character looked like? I know it's been a couple weeks,
Well,
but
it was green, and the overall color was green. So, and I'm used to the green outline, so I'm just like green. Oh, why can't I move it?
all right. So, as you guys disembark what is left of your ship, you guys notice that the temperature has been slowly dropping since you left Palebank Village, and yet it seems to grow colder as you disembark, and you guys were standing around having your huddle. Through windy snow, you can see fur-lined tents and yurts arranged in this large camp. Campfires are whipped by the wind, with dwarves and elves huddled close to the flames. And Morgo goes, don't worry, it'll slow down eventually. And she laughs heartily, and then like ducks her head down and like tries to walk into the camp. And she doesn't like struggle, but it's definitely like a little bit slower walking as like you crest up onto the hill into the village. The rest of your crew doesn't stop moving. They're just like, fire, and they're just going for the different fires to go spread around and warm up as much as they can. But
I asked Morag. It's like, Morag, who is the leader of this village?
We don't really have one, because this, like, Syrinlya is more like a big camp than an actual village.
Well,
So
But it's
she kind of looks at you and goes, take offense to that.
Voice down, man.
you're just like, it stinks.
We may be dwarves and we may be camping, but that doesn't mean we
That
don't
is-
shower.
Doesn't sound good.
And you kind of see she like does this like smell into her armpit and like gets this grotesque look on her face and goes, anyways. Uh, so she takes you guys in, and she gestures to a group of dwarves and elves that are huddled around one of the campfires, and you feel the like warmth radiating off of it as the wind kind of like dies down, because the tents are kind of like guarding to block the wind from affecting the fire as much. And she's like, these guys are planning an expedition to go find Aor's lost treasures. That's what our whole village is about. If you ain't exploring, you ain't banking gold. And she kind of looks at oh my god, why am I spacing her name? She looks at Alwyn and goes, you seem like the kind of person that's gone on some adventures before.
Yeah, here and there.
You been to Aor? No bark. Up.
Character Mike, I've been there before with
Urgon?
Urgon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, you've been to Aor. You've been to Aor in the fact that Aor is like this huge. It's like a region. It's not just like one area. So when you look at what Aor is, it's like a bunch of different areas that you can visit. So it's huge. While you don't remember specifically because of previous dice rolls, where you've been at in Aor, you do know that you've been there. So you tell her, yes, you've been there?
Yes, we have. I've been there with Urgon before.
Interesting. So you know Ergon.
I do.
We haven't seen him in quite some time.
Ergon has passed on.
He what?
He
And you
is,
see her look at the expeditioners, and they kind of look at her and go, how did he die?
I look back at my companions. I look at her, and it says, "We believe it is something called the Frigid Woe."
She kind of like looks at you funny, and there's not a sense of recognition, but she's like, this seems like a sensitive subject. Follow me. And she leaves the fire and she takes you to this yurt. And as you guys enter and you leave the fire pit, the wind picks back up because you're in between the tents. And then you enter the yurt. Does everybody go in? That she enters in. A cold fire pit marks the center of the hide-covered floor of this yurt, and an open crate containing packaged rations and a few other items stands to the right of the door. She kind of gives you guys a minute to like find a place to sit on the ground or however you choose to make yourselves comfortable. And she goes, well, this is the home I mentioned for you. It's not much, but it's the best that I can offer. One of our friends found himself making friends with a saber-toothed tiger and won't be coming back to his humble abode. So you guys can stay here, and anything that's inside you can have too, because we're pretty established here. But Ergon, now that we don't have ears, what's the Frigid Woe?
That's what we were told. What it was. He was consumed by some type of blue magic. He turned blue. He.
You guys know that it wasn't I'm gonna give you guys this, but you guys know that it wasn't magic that brought him back. It was whatever this nature-based property was, froze him over, and that's how he died. But then like he was resurrected after he died and brought back as like a revenant.
Right.
So, because I don't believe anybody actually did an Arcana check on his body.
Right. I would probably describe it as magic still, because it looks like something that's unnatural, and in my mind, that's magic.
Okay, that's fair. I wanted to make sure, like, I never told you guys it was magical.
Right.
Okay.
The bit of disease that's spreading.
Right. Yeah, usually when things become undead, there's something magical that has, or something of a magical quality that's affected it, be it nature magic or otherwise. Or at least for Alwyn, that's how he would classify it.
Sorry, my child's talking to me.
So I turn to my companions and say, if we are going to go forward from here and explore into and find the ruins, we might be able to, if we huddle them up close enough, this yurt could probably hold a great deal of the survivors of the boat.
Not enough to hold 50 of them. What's the amount?
A yurt is typically like 30 feet by 30 feet. So it's not enough. Yeah, it's not enough to fit 50 people in.
50, no, but like at least half that many. If we squished it in there real tight.
You want to cram them in there?
Well, they'll keep warmer that way. More body heat in one place.
We literally have to start.
Hold on.
We literally have to force them in there. I don't think they're gonna want to do that.
Well, it's better than freezing death outside.
Typhongelos, what were you saying?
Oh, I was saying, it's like, is this what they call a clown yurt?
Oh my god, that's great. Um,
Well, we could probably talk to some of the people and see if we could spread some people out amongst some of the tents and see if they'd be
Mhm.
okay with having a few people stay
Right.
in their tent with them.
Morag goes, I'll take care of that. So don't you worry. We'll settle the room situation. I'm not going to make people pack in ridiculous things, but I'm sure we can make some bunk beds or something of the equivalent to like stack people in here, make some more tents. I'm sure we've got more that we can add, so I'll worry about that part. But you guys mentioned Ergon and the Frigid Woe. Is that what brought you here?
Yes.
Okay. Um, who, so Elro had reached out to me and said you guys needed to talk to the buyer. Is that still true?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys need to rest or anything? Because I can take you to him now or I can take you to him later. What would you guys like to do?
Well, after that experience,
I
we
just
probably should
levitated a
rest.
boat.
Your arms feel a little bit sore there. Kind of work that out a bit. Kind of rest that, stretch it out a little bit.
Oh, we have this yurt that you are trying to pack a bunch of people into, so I think we should be able
Also,
to rest for the night.
I'm looking to buy a bag of sorts to store glass vials.
A bag to store glass vials.
Yes.
Also needs glass vials.
You can ask the buyer. He's probably going to be your best bet. We don't actually have a shop here. We kind of survive on the wilderness around us. And a lot of people go hunting in the
No big deal.
woods. So,
This buyer, does he live in the village or does he
This
live
is our
nearby?
first time leaving
yeah,
home.
he's.
Well,
I can
yeah.
show you where his hut is if you guys want to go. I just didn't know if you wanted to go right now.
I mean, if we're just gonna go and talk, we could go meet with him.
I mean,
You guys are in
he
such a
keeps his
rush,
tent
I'll do it
awfully
if we
warm,
can.
so you guys should be comfortable.
I would really like a nap.
Is that your way of saying you're hurt?
Well, Alan is in such a rush for some reason to go and see this guy.
You guys can, if
I mean,
you
that's
want
what
to
we came here
take,
for. So.
if you want to take a
That's the
short
reason
rest,
we're
it's an
all
hour.
go.
It's an hour to take a short rest. If you guys want
Let's
to
take a
use your
short
hit
rest,
dice.
and then we'll go talk to him. How about
Okay.
that?
I'll say that for the sake of this, while you guys are talking and kind of like reconning going over everything with Morag, that you can take your short rest. So any hit die you want to expend to heal up or whatever, arcane recovery if you want to take arcane recovery, whatever your plan is, go for it.
If anyone needs healing as well, I can also throw my hat into that too.
Mhm.
I think good.
Because I have spells and I have my healing hands.
So we good?
Well, I'm good.
I'm just freaked out about protection.
Did you even take any damage, Alwyn, during the
Rolled a
fight?
1 on our API
I
check.
did not know,
Why
which is
What?
probably why I'm like, we should go now. What's wrong with everybody?
are you
I
guys
took
being
damage,
sissy
but I
pantses?
healed myself.
Right.
It was a whale.
Was a whale.
Was
Height
a
is of the
killer.
essence, the longer we live.
Orca.
Question for you guys though, because like short rests are like light activity, so you can be like walking around if you want, or like sitting, or does anybody want to check anything inside the yurt?
I will.
Okay, because the only thing that's in there is the crate. So,
An investigation check.
nope. Just gonna give
I'll
it to
make
you. So you like pop the top off the crate and you look inside. You see that there is 50 days worth of rations inside this. There's a 50-foot silk rope, a blanket, a grappling hook, a miner's pick, and a book.
Boy. What's the book say?
Do you pick it up?
Yeah.
It says right on the front, and it's got this like halfling. Was he a halfling? I think he was a halfling. That like is in this like seductive pose, and it's a male, and he's dressed in like purple robes, but he's not showing anything. But it's like that. When you like have the chest showing a little bit and the hair tuff out the top of it. It's that. And it's you read the title and it says Adventure Sexy, impress potential lovers with great deeds, and then at the bottom below the person's character it says by Scanlan Shorthalt.
I wonder if this guy died, or this person died trying to impress someone with the animal and died.
Yes. Stranger
give
things have happened.
me a history check. Just to see if you remember this person in anything.
8? No, 12.
12. You've heard of the famous bard that was rumored to have saved parts of Wildmount, but you don't remember any exact details about him. But he was very extravagant and very much the ladies' man.
like most birds.
Right. um, so, are you guys taking any of this with you? Are you leaving it here in the crate?
Taking all of it.
Well, it's your guys's, so this yurt is also yours. So you can leave it here, you can take it with you, you can do whatever you want.
We'll split the rations amongst the 4 of us.
That's
Okay.
true. I'm almost completely out of rations.
So 50 divided by 4. Y'all make me math.
12 and
This
a half.
isn't 3.5, you guys. Yeah, 12 and a half. So just put 12.
We're not gonna leave any for the crew just so they have something to eat, or we're just gonna.
I mean, that's up to you guys.
I just mentioned that there's over 50 rations here, and then there's the
They're
crew
tough
outside.
guys. I mean,
It's
there's
enough
a
to
sweet village here full of nice people.
it's enough to feed the
They're
crew
tough
for
guys.
one day, or you guys can pocket it all.
I'm imagining we
going
take
into it,
12,
I mean,
and then we split the halves
get
amongst
it
ourselves.
all.
So we're just nomming away in this, and the crew's like, "Oh, that looks yummy. I wish I had
Nope.
some of that."
I mean,
All
none of the
ours.
crew is in here with you at the
Well, that's
moment,
true.
so they're like out huddling by the fires, burning off their points of exhaustion.
Mhm.
So, they are conveniently not in here. So it is
Well,
up to you
that's
guys.
I'm talking at it. Well,
You know,
rations.
I'm okay with this because I'm sure the village wouldn't mind having some cheap free labor around here that they could negotiate with for, work and things like that.
Do you say this in character?
In not so many words, yes.
Morocco's. I mean, you're not wrong. We'll definitely put them to work. She kind of
I
laughs,
mean,
but
fair is fair.
you guys definitely seem to care about your crew an awful lot. But if you guys are
I'm
done,
gonna say it. This lady's sketching me out, bro.
Why? Because we're super
Listen.
weird.
I'm curious as to why that is too. Please, enlighten me.
It's a nice, warm tent, right? Yeah, nah.
No, let's just say that the buyer is kind of a little extra. He likes his
Mm.
commodities.
Uh-oh.
And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Oh boy.
Commodity. Extravagant and commodities
Wait,
means
wait.
he's into probably people. But that's different.
Hey, I got those
I was gonna
drugs.
say loan shark. I don't know where you were going.
You know where I was going.
I love the fact that you're
I was
stereotyping this
thinking
guy before
drugs.
you even meet
I'm-
him.
Man's got mad
Don't say that
movement.
while I'm drinking.
See this book right here? He's into these. I'm just kidding.
Oh, thank you.
Alright, well, she goes, if you guys are ready then, I can go take you to his hut.
Lead on.
Lead on in his
Yep.
day.
Alright, you guys take a very short, jaunty little walk over to what you noticed on the way in as the largest yurt in this tiny little makeshift village.
He's got the money.
As you see Morag enter, and she pulls open the furs, the pungent scent of incense wafts out of the yurt into your guys' nostrils, and she closes it behind her. You guys can go in as you are ready.
He's real. Yep. He's definitely into incense. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, it's like an assault on your nasal passages. Like when you go to one of those um, foreign stores in the mall, it smells like that.
Oh,
That has like
yeah.
the 50 different types of incense. It's like, but it's
They're all
one
burning.
strong smell of incense. Like it's all the same scent, but it is
A lot.
powerful. It is a lot. So if anybody has allergies, now's the time to start sneezing. But you guys all go in?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you guys walk in and you take a look around. The walls of this yurt are painted with glowing magical runes. A brass brazier burns brightly at the center of the floor, around which are set a very few plush royal purple chairs, and then there's a bed and a large stone chest. In one of those chairs, there is a person sitting there reading a book. And he's sitting with like one leg crossed over the other, kind of almost feminine, but not quite. And a small dragon with green butterfly wings is curled up in this person's lap. And he looks up and he goes, "Margot, darling!" And he like takes his dragon and sets it on the armchair, and he stands up and he goes to either side of her and goes, "How are you?" She looks and goes, "I'm good. I brought some friends for you to meet." And she points to you guys, and he looks over and he goes, "Oh, hi. What brings you into my abode?"
So, out of character, are we just kind of straight up tell him exactly why we're here, or
That's up to you guys.
how are we coming across this?
I don't see any reason why we should lie to him, because if he's the buyer, he knows what he's buying. And we might get more. If we try to deceive him, he might take that as.
Well, I don't mean deceive him, but how do we want to approach telling him why we're here? Do we just want to come out immediately and say exactly why we're here, or do we want to do
Good
a
point.
more subtle approach?
Well, what other reasons do we have to be here besides going to the ruins, or looking into the ruins to see if we can find more information about this stuff? I mean, it's not like this is a tourist town or a resort where people show up. Like people come here to show up here for a reason.
It's kind of more like an outpost, I want to
But-
say.
Right. But yeah, we didn't just like travel across the water and get attacked by an orca.
Oh, why not?
Just to say we did it. I mean,
This coming from the
Well,
man that was in
good.
an existential crisis that his family got left behind, and it just dawned on him. So don't even. Don't you start with me.
I've already gotten over that. I'm now yes as hell.
He rebounds fast.
he's buried it deep down inside for it to come out
Drinking
later.
that
That's all.
wine.
And I will let you guys like have this discussion that you could totally have discussed this during your short
Right,
rest.
right,
So, because I know that I'm like throwing stuff at you. So, Argus, Typhongelos, do you guys have any input as to what you guys want to like tell the buyer, or do you guys have a preference?
Honestly, if we were to try to even deceive him, it would be a very poor choice. Honesty is always the best answer, especially in this kind of a case. Time is of the essence, and as far as I'm concerned, your parents may not have as much time, just as much as the other people I was taking care of before I left.
I'm
Yeah,
not
exactly.
saying anything about deceiving.
But
I
you're
just
trying to insinuate that we should
wanted
tell
to
him
know
everything.
if we just immediately, right now, wanted just to say we're here to go see blah 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 blah, or did we
Someone
want
give
to
me
do
an
it a little-
insight check if you guys want to like understand his intentions. Like, or kind of get a feel for how he is more than what he's
Right.
put off on his first
I mean,
16.
I rolled a 1.
Oh no.
I rolled
20?
a 1, so I got nothing.
Ooh, you guys did super good.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna say that Alwyn, you are kind of like focused on this stone chest. Like it seems weird to you, and so you kind of like head tilted taking that in as to like what is that?
Also probably overwhelmed by the rose water and patchouli just like wafting through the air right now.
Yeah, a little bit. For the rest of you, he's mysterious. He definitely like keeps to himself as far as the inner workings. But he's not abnormally shady, more so than the people that you met in Croaker Cave.
It's not saying much.
It's
He's
not.
straightforward shady, not shady.
Yeah, you basically get the feeling that like if you want him to buy something and it is worth his time to buy, he'll buy it.
Eh?
He'll
Like-
buy anything if he wants it.
Wait.
And you
what?
kind of like look around with the sense of lavishment that is this yurt. He buys a lot. Hence why his name is the buyer. So,
I'll let you guys decide how to approach this.
We're still looking to try to find out whether or not we can get rid of this illness
Slowly,
in the first place.
cautiously.
the what? I'm sorry, Nico. I didn't catch the last part.
So we're still trying to figure out how to get rid of this illness in the first place, so we should probably be focusing on that.
Yes.
Are you guys gonna talk to him about it, or are you gonna keep it a secret, or dance around it, like on what you
Well,
guys are
if
here
you
for?
want to Just go right
should
in
probably-
and do it.
Well, yeah,
then
we
I
should
guess
probably
we'll
talk to
just
him about it because he will
straight
have
up-
probably more information about what it is than anyone else we've met so far.
We're gonna tell him we're looking for the cure and ask if he wants to buy it.
The what?
Oh,
Buy the cure? You guys buy the
No,
cure,
no,
or
no.
him
Well,
buy
if he
the?
knows what the cure
No,
is,
if we find it, if he buy it.
right?
Right.
If we went out into the
No
wilderness,
bark.
into the ruins, and found the cure, how much is that worth to him?
What? Why?
Well-
What information is that gonna
First of
get
all,
us about
since
this
soon as they let
cure?
us leave,
Well, it might be that whatever the cure is, it might be somewhere that's really dangerous for him to go. But if we go there and bring some back,
The question is, does he even know anything about this?
well, yeah, well, and that's what we should ask him. It's like, hey, do you know about this? Do you know what the cure is for that? And he very well might know where we could find the cure.
Or she might have no idea what we're talking about.
He might not. In
I
that
don't see
case,
why
we're
we
on our
hide
own.
it.
It's a gamble you guys have to take, so
Well, I will let them decide what we do, but I think it'd be that we would be something we would just want to ask him if he knows anything about this, and if he does, not whether or not if we find it would he buy it, but more
so for our newer
where should we
players,
start looking?
whoever my DM recommendation to you is whoever is the most charismatic person in the party should be the one to ask. Just as a over the table DM
Yeah.
tip
I
for you guys.
Yeah,
I
the
have a
minus
charisma
one is not
+5.
going to be me.
Who
I
has
guess that
Mine-
might have to fall to me. I have a +4 in my charisma. +4 in my charisma.
I
Well,
have a
you are a
+5.
paladin, so you know
Oh, sorry,
that.
+6. There you go.
+6?
If you look at charisma itself in the little saving throws, it says +7 for some reason. So
But that's a charisma saving throw. That's not your
Right,
charisma itself.
then it's just 5.
right.
So I guess technically it would be the.
I mean, Typhondulos probably has like particle effects around him.
So, are you guys okay with Typhondulos leading then?
Something like this, yes, I think.
Okay.
Is
So,
there anything specific you'd like me to try to approach it?
Mainly just, do you know anything about this? And if you do, can you tell us about what you know and where we should look if we're trying to find out where this is coming from?
and Ardian, just as a side note, your charisma is maxed out at +5, so you have a +9 to persuasion. So you are actually incredibly charismatic too. So-
Yeah, you're actually more charismatic than I am.
yeah, you have a
Wow,
+9. You have a +9 to persuasion and a +7 to intimidation. So you're incredibly charismatic.
You're a beast! Why are you such a coon?
Well, he has expertise in persuasion, so which makes sense being a shopkeep.
So then I guess I should be asking
We
you
are
this question.
never sleeping in the crappy inn rooms again.
The bard
do you
also
think,
gets
guys?
rooms for free, so.
Exactly, so I don't have to worry about it anyway.
Oh yeah, because you're sharing the big room. That's right.
I mean, I could try to convince people to get yourselves rooms that are nice.
All right, so that's a side note.
But
So I guess it's up
guess
to you guys. Typhondulos or
I-
Ardian, who's leading?
I guess
I think
Ardian.
I'll tag team
Well,
with Ardian.
Okay,
yeah.
Sounds like a good idea.
perfect. So you can assist the other. Ardian, then the buyer asked you just to kind of bring that back in. What brings you to my humble abode?
And I ask if he's heard anything of the. What was it called again?
Frigid Woe?
Frigid Woe.
Yeah, Frigid Woe. The Frigid Woe.
He kind of sits back in his seat and like his little green dragon like crawls back into his lap and curls up kind of like a cat, and he puts like each of his fingers together and he looks at you over the top of his hands and he goes, I may. What is it to you?
So we are looking. I don't know what to say. So we are attempting to look for where the source of this is coming from, so we can attempt to find a cure.
There are some people who are in desperate need of help, especially since this also is a task from my order to try to help the people in need. And so the reason why we're here is to try to find out. Because you seem like an individual who's very eclectic and might want something in return since you like to play a certain game.
He smiles. He goes, I appreciate the fact that you also seem to be aware of the game. What exactly is it that you offer for this information? Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check, Guardian, with advantage if you are trying to convince him to do it for free.
So you said persuasion?
Persuasion with advantage, because I'm going to ask you guys how, like, what exactly you say, but for Typhongelos to aid, because I assume that's your plan, and for Ardian to
Got an
lead.
advantage.
Yeah, so roll again.
Oh, that was awful.
Yeah. One.
Wow.
Oh
Ew.
no! The dice failed you today,
Wow.
buddy.
Man.
What exactly do you say to him to try to persuade him to do this for free? Because I'm curious now.
Fact that it's probably not gonna work. I hate being put on the spot.
I'm sorry.
Alright.
You're
We'll
doing
all get
really
this next
good.
turn, yeah.
You're doing super good.
Oh my god.
Here.
I'm not even gonna say what
Was it better? It's better than a freaking than better.
20, like 19.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's the way the dice roll.
Yeah.
We're going with
It
this.
happens. We'll go
Yeah.
with this.
It's not how we fail, it's how we pick ourselves up afterwards. Just remember that.
I mean, but you do have a +9, so it is a 12, so
Fair.
it might give you something, but you have to, like, I mean, you don't
Convince
have
the
to.
DM.
If it's making you nervous, we can, like, just move on, but, like,
Well, I'm trying to think of what you can say.
I got some squirrels I killed out back. Get out.
I don't think that's gonna go over.
He kind of, like,
well.
takes a sip of something in, like, a coffee cup, and he goes, and he sets it down next to him and goes, I think I'm okay. You all must not be from around here. What I can give you is the information you seek is not with me. You need to go find Orvo, and he can tell you more about what you seek. But if you need aid in the future, reach out to me again, because this cure that you're looking for, I may have a way to transport it at ease to aid you. For a price, of course.
Where do we find this Orville person?
Orvo is in a small tent in the side of camp, and it's just over there. And he doesn't get up, he just, like, points. And he goes, it's on the far side. Brown tent. Oh wait, all of them are brown. Silly me. If you ask Morag, she can direct you.
Alrighty. Thank you for your time.
Do you guys hate this guy yet?
Oh, he's definitely pretentious, that's for sure.
You can't hate him because I can't play a guy like that.
Right?
He hasn't done me wrong yet, so I don't see how I can hate him. He's in a different level than I am of society, and I'm just looking saying it's odd, but he hasn't tried to cheat me or steal anything from me yet.
Yet. Being the operative word.
I keep him at arm's distance mentally. That's
Mhm.
where he's at.
This whole place gives me bad vibes. I want to leave.
Morag
let's
goes,
go.
well, we can get out of here and go
Were
find
you just
Orvo.
saying these things out loud? You're just like, in the middle of his tent. This
No,
place
no,
could
no. I
be
thought we were
bad
having like a
vibes.
little
If you guys do
sidebar
not
there.
specifically tell me that something's out of character, like I'm gonna assume you said it in front of people. So you gotta like work with me here.
Yeah. The phrase "out of character" is very helpful.
He's just like saying this out loud. This place
Yeah.
makes me really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I thought we were having like a sidebar there.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's all good. I'll let it be stand as a sidebar, but just like be
Yeah.
aware that like typically I do assume that you guys are like saying it out loud. So because it makes for some really funny consequences if you guys or benefits depending on who you're saying it in front of, that like can be a really interesting encounter. So do you guys leave with Morag at this point?
Yes.
You see the buyer like flip open his book back open and goes, "Have a good day," as you guys exit his yurt. So you guys head over to the other side of this outpost, essentially. I keep wanting to call it a village, even though that's not really what it is. A campfire burns in the front of this small tent, whose flaps are open. From the outside, you can see a young dwarf whose face is scarred as though it's been scratched by some kind of large claw across his face, and a short sword is casually laid across his lap as he warms his hands in like to the fire that's like emanating heat into his tent. And Morag goes, "Well, this is where I will leave you. I am going to go tend to your crewmates and get them situated. Good luck, you guys." And she kind of like excuses herself.
I bound say we thank you.
You're welcome.
As soon as she's out of earshot, I say those guys are screwed.
How far
Which
do you
tent
wait
are we
before
at?
she? It doesn't matter.
Oh,
It's just the sake of role
she's out.
playing. Okay,
I'm gonna go with this tent.
sure, don't matter if it gives you a visual. So you see the dwarf that you have been non-formally introduced to as Orvo kind of looks up from warming his hands, doesn't stop warming his hands, and goes, "Can I help you?"
I say, are you the one who's known as Orville?
I am.
We have been told that you may have some information that we are seeking
About what?
about as we're calling it right now, a disease called the
Frigid
Frozen
Woe.
Frigid
Woe?
Woe.
Or Frigid Woe, or
Frigid
I knew I
Woe.
was gonna forget what that was.
Mm-hmm.
I whisper really loudly, "Frigid Woe."
Whatever the hell it's called. Frigid
mean-
Woe.
I've heard of this disease, but hadn't actually heard anybody local coming down with it. What's going on? Where are you guys from? What like, I understand that this brings you here, but who are you? What's your name? Where'd you grow up?
I am Ardian of
Palebank.
Palebank. And these are my cohorts, and I did off their names. Typhondrilos, thinking on names,
Argus, Alwyn.
Argus, and Alwyn.
Yes.
He kind of nods to each of you and goes, and he looks at Alwyn and he goes, "I recognize you." And it takes him a minute.
Have we met?
Briefly, you traveled with Ergon.
I did.
And as you like look at his face, you recognize that he had attended like a couple really small excursions with you and Ergon. He goes,
I remember you.
I remember you too. Where's Ergon? Why is he not with you? Usually you guys have been branded at the hip together.
Ergon has passed on. I'm
You
suddenly
just see
planning
his
it.
face drop and his hand goes over his chest and he goes, oh no. I always told him that Aor was going to be the death of him. What happened?
Unfortunately, Frozen Woe is what happened.
Frigid. Frigid.
Whatever. Frigid Woe. I don't know the heck it
I
is.
love it. I love it. He looks back at Alwyn and goes, do you remember where he found it? The vials. Those have to be what causes it.
Out of character, I don't think I did I?
No.
Okay. I do not. When was the last time that you saw Ergon? When was the last time he was here?
It's been quite some time. I would say at least 6 months, if not longer. He hasn't been around in quite some time. Which isn't unheard of if he's off adventuring, which is what I assumed you and him were doing.
If he knows about the vials, do you know? And I ask him, do you know where they came from?
Yes, they came from Salzwald.
I have no idea
Salzwald.
what that place is.
He
S-A-L.
and as he says the name, Alwyn, it kind of like resonates that you did go there with Ergon. And he kind of looks at your party that doesn't seem to have like a shred of recognition and goes, Salzwald is an Aeoran ruin that is submerged in water in a region where the ice is incredibly thin. We call this area thin sheets. And you know this too, Alwyn.
It's all coming back to me.
Pretty sure that this area has been preserved with magic, as many of the Aeorian buildings housed hazardous materials or secret projects before they fell. The downside, it's 200 miles from here, and it's northwest. You guys have quite the trip ahead of you.
What would be the fastest way to travel there? Is it on the coast or is it inland?
Let's take a look. Nope, that's not what I needed. Handouts.
Is it on the map?
It should be on the map, yes.
I can't zoom, so I can't. Somebody won't let me zoom.
It's
I can't see anything.
Is it on the world map or is it on a?
Is it the Graying Wildlands?
I'm trying to get my internet to load it right now.
I can't get it.
I have to get you the Isocross map, you guys, because y'all don't have it. And I will have him like essentially give you an Isocross map. So just bear with me because I am apparently unprepared.
I swear I was able to zoom in on this map before.
Typically.
Well, that means
Well, you can zoom, but only so big. It'll do a
it
full
won't
screen.
even zoom. Like it won't zoom in on the map at all.
Well, if you just tap, so if you tap on it, it doesn't zoom out or zoom in.
It zooms it in a tiny bit, but it only fills a small section of the screen.
Oh, okay.
Are you loading my
I
map?
swear I was able to
into-
click into it and zoom a bit, but
Okay, so you should see the Isocross map now that
yes.
Orvo hands you. And he goes, so you travel from where we're at, which is Syrinlya, which you guys can see, and you go northwest to...
I've not seen the Isocross map yet.
It's up at the very top.
Oh,
I see
sorry.
it.
I'll move it to handouts in here in a second.
That's okay. Alright.
So Salsval is in the Aor crash site.
Ooh, it's inland. That means it's gonna be what? I mean,
Well,
technically, you
there-
could probably go boat a lot faster to get really close and then
Well-
travel, but get closer. But
I would know what the River Inferno is, wouldn't I?
Correct. You would know that the
Okay.
River Inferno would take you all the way to the Aor crash site, and you guys would be relatively warm along the way.
And why is it called the
Is
River
it-
Inferno?
It's lava.
lava.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't think we're boating that.
You'd have
Unless
to have
you've
a
got,
magical boat made of stone.
Unless you've got a magical stone boat that you plan on summoning out of nowhere.
It's a basalt raft. We just need to make a basalt raft. Craft that up, throw some logs together, we're good.
Okay, get
And-
started on that.
And you thought
wait.
waiting 6 months for your ship to be repaired on the minimum was too long. Can you imagine how long it would take you to craft a basalt ship?
That would take you even longer.
That somehow
like-
magically manages to float.
That's what the people with the magic things do. They do the magic thing, and then we get, basalt raft.
And you guys were giving the buyer shit about being extra.
I'm not the one that's coming up with the idea with basalt rafts that we're gonna float up in
I know, I'm
frickin'
just giving you
lava.
shit.
This Alan's the one that's eccentric, like the freaking buyer.
I mean, we need a transmutation specialist, and he transmutes
But
something
we
to
just
basalt.
walk along it. That way
Well-
we'll stay warm, but we can travel. That
I
would
suppose we
probably be a better idea than waiting a year plus
All right,
to
hold
try
on.
to find a way to.
Arg,
Well, how rustic? We'll just walk it. We'll
You
fit you
guys-
say.
seriously crack me up. But Argus, Typhongelos, do you have any input as to like traveling this distance, or what's your guys' thoughts?
Are there horses?
Where's our destination again?
You guys are going from Syrinlya to the Aor crash site.
It's quite a distance.
It's 200 miles.
Yeah,
Uh,
as the
is
lava
there-
river flows. Yeah.
Is there like what kind of transports are there? Are there on land? Like, I'm assuming horses probably don't do very well in a snowy environment.
Dog sled.
I want to ask the buyer if he has a boat for sale.
Don't tell me
Does
what
he
happened
have
last
a
boat we had.
boat that's made out of basalt? That's magic that we can buy off.
Wow.
You can go back and ask.
We can. Yeah.
Oh, and go ask that.
Let's not buy it. Let's just see if we can rent it, just like the other one we had.
Yeah, that worked out well
Plays
for us.
of one pretty boy. Get your bard butt in there and sing a tune.
Oh my god, go seduce the buyer into letting you borrow a ship.
That money maker, shake that money maker.
I mean, I could attempt it. I don't know how. My rolls have not been
Do it
super
for
great
your
tonight.
mommy.
You can certainly try.
I certainly don't know how much I would be of help for this. I can do so much.
Oh, come on. You got a great body. Let's go.
straight rules because
Just look at your
Tefandrelos
mom.
is like, nope, I'm out.
Well, like, the Foxwell is like not necessarily like against trying to find some way to help make this easier, but he is definitely questioning as far as at least his 3 companions that he's traveling with.
Here we go. I'm gonna attempt it.
I'll go with Artie just to have a witness and just have the other two is like, just wait here a minute. I'll let you know if you miss anything important.
Oh my god, it's hilarious. Okay, so you guys go back to the buyer. What,
I look at Argus and I say, 2 gold, and he succeeds.
I want to summon a mouse, and I want to go into the tent with it.
you want to do what?
He wants to
I want
summon
to
a
summon
mouse.
a mouse and take
Yeah,
it over
mouse.
and go in the tent so I can watch.
Like a fly on the wall.
I was just
Okay.
joking about that.
No, you can totally do it if you want to. Like, it's not a problem.
No, I was saying that as a joke.
Okay.
Right.
Do you guys actually
yeah.
place a 2 gold bet on them succeeding?
Lord.
I am like heavily invested in this, you guys. Like,
I think he's got it. I think he lets us down on the fighting. I don't think he'll let us down on the.
Okay. So you're betting that he'll succeed, and I'm betting he won't, or
He's
opposite.
classic pretty boy.
All
There's
right.
got to be a reason.
Well, question is how interested is the person gonna be in being seduced to let us take a shit?
Yeah. I don't know how much entertainment he gets in this town, so he might be all in.
So do you guys enter his tent?
I could just feel
Yes.
Typhon's in his mind just going, oh, I better let. Actually, yeah, I think I'll actually have to do that. So Typhon's will take a coke before we leave, as like if Ardian's leaving and walking away out to the fire, Typhon's will take Rococo out of his bag and like look to Alwyn and Argus and be like, could you watch Rococo for me while I go take care of this?
He should not see this.
Did not see this.
Never see these things. We'll never speak of it again.
I gently take Rococo into my hands and hold him and say, of course. I understand.
Rococo, behave. I kind of charge after Ardian.
And he just like does a like head tilt sideways, like, where are you going? But he like hops like to the guys and just like hanging out with them.
I have your wingman bird. You up.
Exactly.
So you guys go back to his tent, and the smell emanates out of the tent or out of the
Now,
yurt.
for viewing pleasure, we present.
Okay, so question, because we actually have not discussed this. If you guys succeed on seducing the buyer, if that is your intention, are you okay with stuff actually going on? Like, obviously that's going to be behind the scenes, like behind closed doors, but I don't know
I mean, if it
what's
gets us
the
a vote,
boundaries.
It's also
Okay.
fine.
Sell your body for a
I
boat.
mean, people have done worse, so what's it for the team?
Just taking one for the team. What about
I
you,
am so for
Typhongelos?
But for me,
Yeah.
I think Typhongelos would have some definite reservations, but I feel like if it was for the greater good, he was given his order that he has to try to fix and like help the people. So
Would it
I'm
be-
thinking, like,
Would it be against your like paladin creed though? To like
That's
sleep
what
with
he's-
someone?
that's what he's kind of trying to suss out, but it's kind of he's looking at, is it better for the greater good versus what he may believe, at least from what the creed is, because there's definitely a confliction of we want to help people, but even if we have to do bad things to help people, then I suppose that it could be worked around, but Typhongelos is going to kind of wing it and figure out how it goes.
You can offer Ardian counseling later on.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's good, I
If you
can
want
do
to talk
that.
about it, we can talk about it.
Let me help you repent your sins, my young son.
Yeah, essentially.
Where did the bad man touch you?
Alright, guys. So,
Well, I think if I'm seducing this guy, I'm probably gonna be somewhat of the bad man too.
so you guys go to his tent, uh, or his yurt, excuse me. Um, do you guys just enter, or
I think so.
think so? So
Yes,
who goes first? Typhongelos or Ardian?
I think I'll enter first.
You'll enter first.
I'll just be very close behind him, just to kind of be the side, almost like the bouncer. Almost, I feel like we're pimping him.
You see
Nah, bro, you're a
as you
pimp.
guys enter
Straight up.
in, and
You're a
that
pimp.
smell of incense invades your nostrils again. You just see him look up and goes, "Oh, you are back. Did you need something?"
About more ways than one.
Yes. Yeah.
And Fonjo's kind of like pats Artie on the back.
He goes, "For
I'm
whatever
gonna
do you
cast
mean?"
Bless, actually. Actually, sorry. Before we go in, I'm gonna cast Bless
Okay,
on both of us.
okay. Um,
We each have a D4 to.
so this is funny. So I rolled an insight check to see if he could infer what you all were meaning, and I rolled a natural 1.
Oh.
So he goes, "Whatever do you mean?"
Uh-oh.
I just feel like you guys are looking at each other, looking at him, going, "Uh."
That sappy poor music is coming in the up in the
Break out the
background.
rope.
I
Start
We
playing some
may-
Last Command.
we are in need of transportation.
Do go on.
And let's see. How do I best describe this? And I'm willing to do whatever is necessary to get that transportation.
We need to get to the AR crash site if we're going to find what we are looking for, the possible source and the possible cure for this disease of the Frigid Woe. Because it is over 200 miles away, by foot, by the time we would get there, most of the people we're trying to save would be dead. And we need to quickly get there so that way we can at least expedite the process of finding a cure.
And I look at him very, let's see, longingly. That's
E-girl eyes.
just kind of do it like a sexy.
You see he kind of like eyes you up and down too. And he goes,
We could really use some help.
"While I appreciate what you are throwing down, I propose a trade. I will loan you my sled dogs and sled. They must be returned. They are invaluable. For an eye." And you look at him for a second, you guys kind of like, "An eye?" He goes, no, let me explain. This is more like a gem, and it is rumored to be in Salzwald, and I hear you guys are going there. So, you retrieve it for me, I loan you my sled dogs. I don't know where it is, and I can't help you find it. But if you retrieve it for me, we'll call it even. Otherwise, you owe me a favor when you get back." And he kind of winks at you.
I think we'll go with the favor.
No.
That's the easy one.
No, this
Don't
isn't
get
a
frostbite.
This isn't a discussion. If you want my sled dogs, you're going to get the eye. If you fail to do so, then you owe me a favor.
Well, we will attempt to find this eye you speak of.
And what
That's all I
exactly
ask.
does this eye
The
do?
deal.
I do not know,
It's a whispering eye.
but I've heard wondrous things about it. And I'm curious. Curiosity killed the cat, as they say.
But then ingenuity brought it back.
Ha, I like you.
Let's just say I've had more than enough time being around plenty of people to understand the subtle nuances that such sayings can bring, but they can also bring such dangers to individuals who are unprepared for consequences. You can kind of see, like, I think, like, Ardian, you would notice that Typhonville's kind of changes in his stance a bit. Like, he doesn't seem like he's anti-magic or anything, but there is just a sense of wisdom and caution to his voice, to the buyer.
Do we have an accord?
We believe we may have
Yes.
something in mind.
I look forward to your return then.
You have our thanks.
Yes, great same things.
And you have mine as well. And he kind of nods to you and goes. And, like, gestures his hand out in, like, a very flamboyant, graceful manner to the door. You will find my sled dogs at the back of my yurt. Feel free to help yourself. They're relatively friendly.
Thank you.
You are welcome. He goes, oh, one more thing. If I don't hear back from you within the month, since it shouldn't take you that long to travel there with my sled dogs, I will presume you dead. Don't expect me to tell your families. Ta-ta!
I'll make sure to mark it on the list of other people who've told us the same thing.
Ooh. Okay.
Burn sizzle.
Have a good trip. And he kind of says it in that, like, snarky, he's not sure if you're actually coming back.
And he wouldn't be the first person.
Right.
Number
So
332.
as a note, I am going to count the ice that would be, because it's like the river of lava, right? Within the 50 to 75 feet next to the river, I will count it as like road, essentially, because it'll be like the snow will be melted off. So you can travel 36 miles via dog sled per day on the road. So that puts you guys at a shit ton faster.
Is it faster to do it on the snow?
200. So it'll take you 5 days to get 5.5 days to get there. If you do it on snow, it's 24 miles a day.
It will do
So,
things a little bit faster, right?
yeah, it's 24 versus 36. So,
We will do road.
Oh, that's like 6.5 days.
I wasn't sure because with sled, you'd think if it's melted, you'd be dragging it across the ground, and sleds aren't necessarily designed for dragging on the ground, so.
yeah.
Oh yeah, but I mean the ground would be probably fairly flat from all the the snow and everything.
I just figured on the snow
Mhm.
it would glide easier.
All right,
That's
getting
what
your
I asked.
isocart map moved down to the handout section for you guys. But yeah, when do you guys want to? I assume the two of you.
What time of day is it?
You arrived on the 9th day in the morning initially, so I'm gonna say around this time. I'm gonna say it's around lunchtime at this point.
Do we want to start now, or do we want to stay here for a night, then head out?
Well, I think they need to come back talk to the other two of us to let us know what's going
Yeah,
on.
they do, but
All right.
We head back.
Wow,
Um,
that was quick.
I'll put my hand upon Artie as we're going along, and Typhon will also say, "You're very brave for offering such a thing to someone you don't even know so quickly." Normally, I would
Offering what?
Let's hope to God we find that eye.
I am not so convinced that we'll have to find it necessarily, but I'm a bit hesitant to just give it to him. Something about him just strikes me as off. Something magical like that. It doesn't know what it is, doesn't know what it does, just wants it. But the temptation that most people would cause other people to become harmed by.
I mean, I suppose we could just find it and then not tell him we found it, and then I just didn't do a favor for him.
Out of character.
Your discretion.
Out of character, I was about to say his ass is on the line, but that's out of character. That's out of character. Out of character.
You can roll me an insight check on Ardian or Typhongelos if you kind of want to like get an idea of what they're exactly talking about.
Please, please, source.
And
Come on, dice. Don't fail me. Don't fail me. Don't fail
And
me.
if you guys don't want him to know, you guys can roll me a deception check.
Freaking 2. That's a grand total of like 3, I think. Wait, on
got a
insight.
14.
So,
Yeah, insight's a 3. I got a 3.
all
I have
right,
no clue what
yeah,
they're talking
no,
about.
you wouldn't have any idea. You would just know that they owe him a favor. The subtle sexual context eludes you.
So they gotta clean out the gutters. You gotta walk the dogs. What is it? I don't understand.
Argus, on the other hand, you look at them and you look at the way they're talking to each other, and you're like,
Oh yeah, definitely.
oh my god. They just offered to sleep with him, and it worked. So the bet that took place on the being successful, whoever betted yes to them being successful, one of you owes the other 2 gold pieces.
Argus won.
Yeah. I couldn't remember who was the yes and who was the no, but yes.
All right. I give him. Yeah. Under the grumbles of my breath, I hand him over the gold.
So you can subtract 2 gold pieces from your inventory, Argus. You can add 2 gold pieces to your inventory.
Yep.
On your character sheet. But so for the sake of time, you guys kind of go back to your yurt, clue each other in on what's going on.
Yurt. This yurt.
No, that's the buyer's yurt. I don't even know if it's actually on the map, but it doesn't matter. You guys have your own yurt. Sure, we'll go with that. So you guys like meet up in your yurt. There's a couple of things I need to know. So, the things that were in there, so you guys divided up the rations. Who took the rope? Because there were actual.
I think I've got rope already.
Because there was individual items in there. So who took the rope?
I could take the rope if anything.
Yeah, I don't. I already have silk rope, so I'm good.
Okay. Who's taking the blanket? It's just like a wool blanket.
I'll take it.
Okay. Who's taking the grappling hook?
I'll take the grappling hook.
Okay.
Oh, you have one of those.
And then we had the miner's pick.
I'll hold on to it.
Okay. And then our bard took the book that was Scanlan Shorehall's Adventures. So that was it. That was in there. When are you guys wanting to leave? Do you want to leave now? Do you want to... Because you can travel your 36 miles before you would need to rest for the night, I would say, during daylight.
So traveling immediately. The faster we get this done, the better.
Definitely.
Okay. So you guys go grab the sled dogs that I wish we were actually playing in person, because I have some really cute minis for. Damn internet. Such is life. But So you guys can grab the sled jogs. Who's wanting to be in charge of any animal handling checks associated with the sled dogs?
I've got a +3 in animal handling.
I have a +3 as well.
Where's animal handling?
It's
Uh,
right.
under-
Incredible acrobatics.
I only have a +2, so I probably would.
Mhm.
Out of you two, you guys are the highest.
Evangelos, do you want to roll off?
I suppose that we might as well give it a try.
All right. All right. I rolled 17.
Tough to beat. Oh, 16.
Just barely.
Okay. So let's say between the two of you, like, sitting at the front of the cart, this is like a covered cart. So, like, there's room for people to sit in the back with, like, your stuff. So, like, but the front seat's kind of, like, small. So if Typhongelos and Alwyn are sitting in the front seat, it's like, it's a little cramped.
He's almost sitting in my lap trying to guide the dogs.
Yeah. Because it's
And
meant
Alwyn's
for
just
only, like,
realized
one
that
person.
He has volunteered to be responsible, and he's like, oh, why did you do that? What am I doing?
Ardian and
Stupid.
okay, sir. Up
Yeah.
right behind or wherever.
So you guys go to take off. You leave Syrinlya. You go, because you've been there before, I'm not gonna make you do survival checks, but like you go to the and we're gonna switch you guys. Well, no, I don't have the map for it. But you guys go to the molten lava river, follow that up, and you guys see like wildlife off in the distance, like among the trees, some of the mountain goats like a mile away or something, but like nothing immediately near the lava. And you know that this was the same as the last time you made this trek too, is things don't inherently go towards the heat that are used to this cold weather that it has been for the last couple of years. So things have adjusted their lifestyle accordingly. Wolves, deer, moose, like they just kind of avoid it. It doesn't
It's
typically,
unnatural.
yeah, it doesn't typically go well for them to be close by. But do you guys want to do anything on this initial stretch of your first day's trip?
I'll
Because you have like essentially like eight to 10 hours that I'm gonna say you can travel this time frame in
Hey,
before dark.
practice.
I have an idea.
Okay.
We have rope. I could summon a tensor's floating disc, and we could snow wakeboard.
You want to do like a hoverboard on the back of the sled dog? I'd allow it. I'd allow it.
Just for some fun rolls for the ride, you know.
Typhongelos will kind of get into the back of the car, kind of like giving Ardian the ability to have room in the front. Grab a hold of the rope and tie it to himself, and tie the other bit of it to Argus, and be like, by all means, that'll be your counterweight.
Who wants to go?
Ardian's a fun guy, so he's gonna join in.
Okay. So you climb, like I would say you like slow down to like pretty much a stop. You climb on the tensor's floating disc. Argus raises it up. Have the rope in hand. Alwyn goes, hiya!
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I hit the ropes and hiya, hey.
Mush.
Oh my god, what do I want to classify this check as? Give me an acrobatics or athletics check to hold on to the rope. Just to hold on to the rope, initially.
Well, my acrobatics is gonna be the better roll.
Right.
Wait, yeah, you're done.
Ooh.
Okay.
So he lets go and I hold on to it.
No.
I would
Mine
say
was an
like
accident. You're going first. I shouldn't have rolled.
tethered, yeah, like you could tether the rope to the sled, like so that it's like kind of how you do when you go wakeboarding, right? Like the boat has it, so in this case, the sled has it, so you don't have to hold on to the rope. Just Andrew's character has to hold on to it.
I mean, you could do with the athletics check just to hold onto the rope, and then for sick tricks, you can go for acrobatics.
I'll let it be either or.
Okay.
I don't personally care. But yeah, if you want to do a sick trick while you're on it, go ahead and give me another athletics or acrobatics check. And describe what your sick moves looks like, because that's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
What's your sick move look like, Ardian?
I do a sweet, where I like let go of the, or do a quick twirl, and then let's see.
Like almost when you do like hand over
do-
hand and they do like the 360 but like horizontal
Yep.
kind of thing. Yeah, okay.
And then I attempt to do a, like, what do you do where you go almost a twirl through the air that's like sideways.
Like a hat. God, my sister was in gymnastics. She would know this, but
Like a sideways loop to loop.
yeah, sure, we'll call it that because that's the
Your
official
rodeo.
term now. I don't think they study gymnastics in D&D, so. But yeah, it's flawless and beautiful and like just very
Great.
elegant and graceful. Like in your elvish heritage, somehow that gracefulness comes across into this makeshift sport that you guys just created.
Create a business out of
I'm
this.
just glad that I didn't fall flat on my face. So that's all I care about.
That's all I can think about.
All right. Argus, are you wanting a turn on the new sport that y'all developed?
That looked easy.
Might as well.
All right.
It
So you
was
guys
my
like
idea.
stop the cart, switch out.
I'd be like, not as easy as you think it is. Go ahead.
And you climb
No, I
up
made it
there.
look easy.
Ardian hands you the rope. You make the disc fly up.
I mushed the dogs. Hiya.
I will say for action economy for this, Argus, has homebrew rules, dude, and rule of cool. If you want to use your action to do a trick in conjunction with moving Tensor's floating disc, I will say you can do it in one turn. Like action and bonus action kind of a thing. Since it's your floating disc and you can control it and have it do what you want it to do. So just for artistic flair. But
I'm sure I'm not nearly as acrobatic as you, Mr. Ranger.
go ahead and as soon as Alwyn takes off with the sled, go ahead and give me an athletics or acrobatics check to hold onto the rope.
No!
Ooh.
Does he hold on?
You know when have you guys gone wakeboarding?
That's just right out of my hands.
Have you gone wakeboarding and like you have a hold of like the rope essentially, the bar, and they pull and the sled jerks really fast and the rope just goes out? That's what just happened to Argus.
Oh, rope burn.
It doesn't. It's not as easy as it looks.
Do you want to try again, Argus?
Too fast!
What? Too fast? I
I've
don't know what
gotta
you're
try
talking
one
about.
more time.
All right. So you guys try again, and you reposition yourself, and you float the disc up, and you have a hold of the rope. Go ahead and give me another acrobatics check.
Son of a bitch, it's a 10.
10 is what you needed.
All right.
Oh, good.
So it pulls
Oh,
off
just
and
made it.
it jerks, and you kind of like slide back a little bit, but then like grab tighter as like the rope comes to the end, and you're like, I've got this, and you're like holding on,
A
and you're a
lot of
little
fun,
rocky
yeah.
at first, but you kind of like get it under control as you guys are taking off. Do you want to try for a trick, or do you want to just like hold on for a little bit?
It's pointless if I don't.
All right. What trick do you attempt?
Oh, I was trying to do a backflip.
So you try to do a backflip with the disc, and it kind of like you get most of the way there, and you're like looking at the disc that's upside down, and you're like parallel to the floor, and then you flip over a little bit more, but instead of the disc going back under you, you let go of the rope, and you just into the snow. Or into the ground, sorry, because you guys are on the road essentially. I need you to
It's an
take
over rotation, right?
This is a dumb idea.
3 points of bludgeoning damage from hitting the ground.
All right.
Because it's only like 3 feet above
Right.
the ground, so it's not that much damage. But
As soon as we bring the sled to a stop, I'm gonna hand the reins to Typhongelos. Like, I gotta try this. I gotta get this go.
By all means.
Clearly,
All right.
just as a reminder, like I told Argus, it's not as easy as it looks.
It's not easy.
Yeah,
It
not
sucks.
easy as it looks. Okay. All right.
Get out of this, I will heal your boo-boo that you have suffered. I'll put the lay on hands of dead.
It's always a delight with Argus.
Mhm.
He never disappoints.
All right.
All right, so Typhongelos, whenever you're ready.
Let us go.
All
right.
right.
Oh yeah, you hold on to that, and you're just like yeehaw on the back of this
All right.
thing.
And we're gonna go for the
You're
trick.
the one that created this, and you're unable to even do it.
He did try a backflip though, like that was pretty cool. He got most of the way there.
Okay. We are going for a sick trick.
Okay, my brain. Real
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh my
shit.
lord!
What trick do you do?
That's
All of them.
All of them.
What is it, a twisting
it's-
back full?
Well, no. What I do is I tug back on the rope, and I actually let it go, and I do like almost a swan dive forward, and then just grab the rope and get back on it when it looks like I'm about to just plow into the ground. Just swan dive, grab, back on.
Alright.
Nice.
And it is super graceful.
It's super graceful.
That's insane. To roll a 24 for that. But alright. So, the rest of your guys' trip, is there anything else you want to do?
Whenever I
I'm
get
gonna
a
be
free
mumbling
moment.
under my
Yeah.
breath about how
You
that
want to
game
come up with
sucked
any
the
other
whole
cool
time.
ideas?
Wait,
that
everybody's
we
talking
can
at the
do
same
with
time. I need
camp?
one person to talk. Can't hear everybody.
Whenever I get a free moment, I'm gonna try and have Argos explain to me what is this deal that Ardian made with the buyer.
Okay.
I'm gonna say to Argus, we need you to come up with another cool idea that we can do.
But you what?
You can't do.
See those dogs over there? You sniff their butts, jerk. So here's the deal. We gotta get this item called. What kind of eye is it?
It's just the eye.
The eye.
That's all
We
he
gotta
told you.
get the eye from some unknown location, or our boy here is gonna have to give up his whispering eye.
All right. insight check says. Oh. Oh.
Give me a give me a
mean-
deception check.
Oh.
Give me a deception check for who. Yeah. For versus his insight.
What's my insight? I need a.
You need to beat a
Oh
14.
no! Why did
Oh,
I get
yeah.
that now?
You mean like his actual eye, like out of his head?
Oh,
Never. And I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I'm like, I'm not getting it. I'm just like, I don't. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, what other?
that's for the best.
I'll ask you about
Let's
it
not
later.
overthink it.
I'll ask
Yeah,
you
yeah.
later.
Chicks dig scars.
Yeah, that's all he.
Ain't
That's
no
yeah.
chick.
That's what he says to me, and I'm like, oh, and I nod like I understand what that means. Oh yeah,
You-
yeah,
Maybe
okay,
no doesn't.
yeah, just
Sure.
oh, right, I got it.
Ardian. Okay, so that was Ardian, Alwyn, and Argus all in that conversation, right? Or was that just Argus and Alwyn?
I think it was just the two of us.
Stupid.
Okay.
Mhm.
So what else are you guys doing?
Well, while they're discussing what's going to be happening with my body, if we don't find this eye, I'm taking the time to practice drumming. Do I have?
He's giving himself a Brazilian.
Not strumming. Or would a lyre be something I strum? I think so. I'm gonna practice strumming my lyre.
All right, give me a performance check.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Whatever melody you are playing and just like strumming on the lyre is beautiful and hypnotic as you are playing it. Typhangelos, is there anything you want to do?
I think I would just have Rococo sitting next to me as he sits like people, essentially. So he's just kind of like just there, tongue flapping in the wind.
Like a dog that's got his head out the window, just like
Yep.
Cloud
Yeah,
Nine.
that's great.
Super cute.
Kind of like
Jesus.
as I like have, since the reins are like are a little bit tiny for my hands, I just have like one hand over all the reins for all the dogs, and I'm just like petting Rococo.
Ah, perfect. So when I did the math, you have 5 days. So this is the end of the first day that you guys need to stop and set up camp. So you guys stop, tie up the dogs, I assume,
Yes.
set up whatever shelter you're setting up. I know you guys have the spell. Are you guys using that for this? For Liam's, I think it's Liam's tiny hut, right?
Well, that was the plan for situations like this.
Yes.
Just to keep us safe from the cold, not so much from enemies.
Right. So you guys will still have to have watch. So who's taking first watch?
I'll take this
Okay, so Ardian's taking first watch. Who's taking second?
I'll take second.
Okay. And then who's taking third?
I suppose I'll take third. Nope, I'll take last.
Okay, so we have Ardian, Alwyn, and then Argus and Typhondralos. Okay. Is there anything you guys need to do before you lay down for the night, or are you guys good?
I'm good.
Okay. The dogs cannot fit inside the spell. So, like I would say, like you guys find a tree to tie them to or something to secure
They're
them
probably
for the
used to
night.
the cold, so they don't mind being outside.
No, that'll be fine. Um, Ardian, while you were on your first watch, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
18. So, while you're sitting there and the snow is falling down around you, and you hear some howls out in the distance, but they're like miles away, and you just hear the sounds of nature, and it's oddly comforting because at least it's not eerily quiet while you sit here by yourself. Is there anything you want to do on your 4-hour stretch of watch?
Well, I would play music, but I feel like that would probably disturb the party.
Not necessarily.
How's sweet, sweet loot music gonna disturb us? Play on.
Might put them to sleep
Well,
if you want to like do that for like 10 minutes or something.
I'll try playing the.
It's no metalcore. We're not trying to draw people in.
Okay, give me a performance check to play
Oops,
something.
wrong button several times.
Sweet Caroline. Da, da, da.
Okay.
13.
Yeah, it's one you're familiar with, that you've played multiple times before, whatever it sounds like, and it just, kind of brings you back to home. And you sit there, and as you're strumming and you think about it, you reminisce on your parents and what they're doing and hoping that they're okay, since you don't really have a method of communication with them right now. But you just have this feeling that you're gonna get what you need. And you just believe in that because you have to hold on to that. Because hope is what's gonna get you through this to save your parents. And the other villages, of course, but mostly your parents. It's kind of where your focus is. But nothing else happens on your watch. So you can go wake up the next person, which is Alwyn.
Go wake up Alwyn and say,
But,
"Your
okay.
turn."
All right, all right.
Kind of like shakes him out of bed, kind of a thing.
Pretty much. Get out of bed.
Well,
Your turn.
elves don't sleep that much, so it's it's
Right.
probably fine.
You're used to being woken up at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Alan,
All right.
go ahead and give me a perception check on your turn.
All right.
11.
Yep, it's cold and damp.
It
Cold, wet,
is.
and damp.
You just see the snow start to pick up more. The wind, it like bites a little bit harder as the night sets in. The wolf sounds are still off in the distance. They're not anywhere close, but they're definitely intense. But you've been in these situations before, and you're comfortable in it. This is not new to you. So you're okay. Is there anything you want to do?
I'm just gonna reflect about Ergon and the fact, like, and the idea that is this all we're ever gonna do? Just sit in the wilderness, hopefully not die, hopefully find a treasure, and that's all that that's the best we can do.
Are you reflecting on like wanting to try to stop this winter? Is that what's going on?
It's more the idea that why we go through this trouble to find to go to really inhospitable places. We face unknown dangers just to get a little bit of treasure, and occasionally we find something that, I don't know, turns us into a blue zombie. I mean, just reflecting on the adventurer's life, about what it means to be an adventurer.
Okay. For sure. So it kind of consumes your thoughts for your 4 hours. And soon enough, time just rolls by. And the snow starts to lessen up a little bit, but not a lot. As you can go wake up the next person and wake up Argus for his watch.
Argus!
Uh,
Argus!
ah,
Uh, It's your
I'm up.
it's your turn. You're up. You're like your turn. Get out
Okay.
there.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna cast Found Familiar. Like, bring an owl
Okay.
out and keep it
Owl
for
kind
the
of
journey ahead anyway.
swoops down and lands on your arm. I assume you ritual cast it during your time.
Oh well, yeah. If you wanted to fight, that would.
I mean, you can ritual cast it or you can burn the spell slot. It's up to you.
Yeah, let's do the ritual.
So I think it's ritual casting, isn't it?
I believe so. Check. I just posted it.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Nope.
So you're gonna burn the spell slot.
Yeah. Well, I get to go back for a little
So it
rest,
lasts for an
right?
hour. I will say that you can have advantage on your spell checks if you're having him like circle the area around you during your watch.
Yeah.
So, gonna give me a perception check with advantage. Not bad. Wanna do another one? Better. So
Slightly better than average.
between like the time that you're perceiving through your familiar and the time that you're not, like you see him swoop down and like grab a rat and eat it during his time and like, but he doesn't really see anything else. The snow just kind of like still coming down, the wind's still biting at your face and the cold's whipping about, but you don't hear anything. Nothing seems odd. And you just kind of like hang out for 4 hours, and then it is Typhondralos' turn. Unless you want to think about anything or do anything else.
No, that was it. I just wanted to kind of prepare him for the things coming ahead. That way I don't have to do it
For sure. It
right
only
before
lasts for an
something
hour,
happens.
so by the time your watch is
I
over.
thought it took an hour to cast, but it lasted as long as I needed.
Uh,
Did I read that right?
I think I read it wrong. You keep
Yeah, it's
him.
1 hour to cast it and instantaneous unsummon.
Yeah, duration is
Oh, okay. So it stays until it dies.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, not bad.
Better roll a 20 for my watch, though.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
way
nice.
Someone's feeling rested.
Yep.
Nice.
Ugh, that was a good enough rest.
So, what are you doing while you're sitting there listening on your watch?
I'd probably take out Rococo and just kind of look at him and let him play around with the snow a little bit. And as I kind of stare into the fire, I feel like Typhondralos would kind of just say to himself a few prayers and kind of look up to the, I guess, morning light
Mm-hmm.
at this point and just kind of talk to himself. You can, I guess, if anyone else was awake or probably would hear him just kind of off to the side, kind of being like, oh, I wonder what my family's doing right now. I certainly hope they're doing all right. Yes, I know you miss home too, Rococo. We'll be back
As
soon.
you are talking to Rococo, you hear a crunch in the snow.
I grab a hold of my tower shield and my scimitar. And I look
And as
towards the
you
town.
look and you listen, you hear almost an eerily familiar sound that sounds like Ergon did when he was resurrected, and that and you see You see a humanoid shape about 6 foot tall at the edge of your 60 feet of dark vision, because you have dark vision, right?
Yes.
Right at 60 feet, that is moving towards you.
Okay, I will hold over my phone in my bag, and I go towards the others, and I push them away, and be like, "We have company."
Oh,
you
the
go.
damn
Ooh,
wolf
what?
attacked
Huh,
us
what?
once. I got it from the clearance track.
Fried muffin. What?
We have a
Peaches and
visitor,
cream.
and it doesn't look like he is very friendly and a little bit undead.
So I will give you guys one action to prepare for what y'all are going to do, and I will need initiative rolls.
How far are we away from the lava?
Oops, wrong thing.
I think he said 60 feet.
No, 60 feet from the creature.
Okay.
From the lava itself, I'm gonna say it's like probably like half a mile, so it's not
Okay,
in.
Okay.
gotcha.
And
Good idea.
Just figured might as well expedite the. Sure, take 7d10 worth of fire damage
Around.
per round. Yeah.
So I will drag your tokens out onto the board for you. So you guys
Do I
can
only
set up.
see one initially, or is there like multiple sounds?
You just hear the one. And need my token. Which is. What are you guys doing?
Right.
While, like, so you wake up, are you guys preparing anything?
Yeah, not my short bow, getting an arrow in it.
Yeah, let's make sure. I guess I'll prepare nice enough.
A nice knife?
I'll go ahead and cast Bless on Ardian, Alwyn, and Argus.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, can I take that back? I'm gonna go ahead and cast mage armor
Yeah, that's fine.
on myself.
So you guys get a d4 to your attacks and saves for the next minute.
Is this actually...
Attack roll or damage roll?
Attack rolls.
Gotcha.
Apparently, I can't upload my token that I need, that I forgot to upload earlier, so... Good stuff.
Do you have another token you can use in its place, and we'll just, theater of the mind it?
Sure. We'll use this guy. So, I need him... That's not what I needed. I need the measuring tool. Oh, that was actually pretty damn close. Okay, so he's right there. So we had an initiative of 15 for Typhondralos, 14 for Alwyn, 4 for Argus, and 19 for Ardian. Okay. So, Ardian, you are up first, sir. So you did your you did your one action, right? Because you weren't holding anything. You cast mage armor. So now is your actual turn to, like, whatever you're gonna do to this guy.
Well, I have my bow. assume that since that I can see him too,
Oh yeah.
because I have the.
As long as you have dark vision, you can see him, which you do as a half elf.
So, from what I can see, what does he look like? Does he look like he's like a zombie or?
What you see is a 6 foot tall man with brown, shaggy hair that looks like matted to his face. His skin looks blue, but not like blue like Ergon's done, just blue from the cold and from death. And he's got his leather armor from what he wore in life, and a broken noose around his neck that is like hanging around his neck. And
I fire an arrow at him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's dead. We killing this guy.
Go ahead and roll your attack roll for your arrow that you are shooting at him.
That's a D4.
13 just hits, and that is its armor class. So roll for damage. Seven. Okay, I was like, you don't get sneak attack because he knows you're there. Are you moving at all, or are you staying put?
I'm gonna stay put.
Okay. Well, then cool. So that ends your turn. Typhondralos, your turn.
I'm gonna just position myself in the way of pretty much just being the bulwark, so if that creature wants to get to any of them, he has to come through me first and kind of take a defensive stance.
Do you do the
So
like
dodge.
manly hit the chest thing? Like with your shield like Vikings do?
Yeah, kind of. Just drawing his attention towards me to be like, if you want them, you have to come to me first.
Okay. Are you holding an action or anything?
If he comes within my attack range, I'll go ahead and take a swing at him.
Okay. Cool. If that is everything, it is Alan's turn.
Okay, I am going to shoot my bow at him.
Okay. Roll to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Forget the D4.
Yep, there's D4 in there. 1 second.
Oh yeah,
That's a
you hit.
14. All right.
Thank God for bless.
All right. So that's
You have been blessed, my child.
8 damage. Nice.
Okay.
Are you
And as a-
moving or are you staying put?
as a bonus action. I'm gonna cast Ensnaring Strike,
Okay.
which let's
You need a strength saving throw?
yeah. That's what I'm trying to look up right now. It says my spell DC, but don't see that listed here.
Well, I rolled a natural 17.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, my save DC is 11. So yeah.
I'm gonna say that you try to like ensnare him in like something, and he just like
Yeah.
pulls it
He's
out.
Yeah, he's having none of that.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Anything
So
else?
No, I'm gonna keep my distance where I'm at right now.
Okay.
I don't see a need to get any closer than this.
All right. It is the Revenant's turn with Argus on deck. Save the best for last. So it is going to dash straight up to you and just come running at you now that it sees you. So you can take your attack that you were holding, Typhondralos.
Good lord, he moves fast.
Oh, it's a dash. You chose poorly, my friend.
10 to hit, or
10 to hit.
yeah, that unfortunately misses. As you swing in just this like terrifying, really awkwardly stumbling run, and this guy being like in your face just kind of draws you back for a little bit, like the undead. Oh dear God. and you swing and miss with your scimitar. It can't do anything, but what you see, Typhongelos, is as you are there, the arrows that hit him and the wounds, the arrows are still stuck in his body, but you see the wounds start to close up, like they're healing around the arrows.
Oh, good lord! Not good.
And that ends his turn. Argus, your turn. I have a feeling I know what you're gonna do.
I think I know what he's gonna do too. I was gonna ask if I can yell to him, but I choose not to.
Take
Oh
Unless
no!
the DM allows it.
Oh, I can't waste that on one dude.
Waste
I
what?
think I'm just gonna ice knife him.
Oh yeah, if you
Or
can
yeah,
you can
he
let
did
that
fire
go,
next.
but you held that, right? So that's your held action, so you can let that go
Yeah.
before your turn, and then you still get your turn. So that's not like you would let it go before. So go ahead and roll your attack for Ice Knife. Are you casting it at first level or second level?
First level.
Okay. You got 2 to hit? Oh no.
Yep.
Yeah. The nice thing is that at least Typhongelos doesn't have to do a dexterity saving throw.
True.
So that was your
Yeah.
held action. What are you doing for your actual turn?
Let's go with. I'm gonna. You said it's coming right at me, right?
Yeah. Well, it's at Typhongelos, and Typhongelos has its attention. So.
Okay. Well, let's go with. I don't know how to Aganon Czar's Scorcher.
Okay. So you need a dexterity saving throw from me? Okay, so the thing with this is it's a line 30 feet long and 5 feet wide. So if you're going to do it in front, you're going to make Artie and Typhongelos both do a dex saving throw too. So you need to ultimately move like here to get just him, or you could move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 here. I would say here probably. And then do it, and you wouldn't hit anyone besides him. And then because you have 30 feet of movement, because that was 5, 10, 15, 20, and then you could move 25, 30, and you would give Typhongelos flanking advantage if you wanted.
That's the only.
Or 5, 10, 15, 20, or you could move here and do it and be not within melee.
Which, as a squishy, probably not want to be next to him.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you what your options are. So I don't want to like tell you what to do or how to do it. But where would you like to be? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Tyler?
I think his audio might be cutting out.
Mm.
Which happens to the best of us. I just had internet issues the other night and got them fixed. Because TP-Link is an amazing thing that I actually got working. So now I don't have like drops in my internet signal anymore.
Woohoo!
Yeah, because it's a crime to not be able to hardwire your really nice computer.
This intermission brought to you by.
Yeah, I need an Amazon affiliate link because I will plug stuff if you guys pay me. But, Tyler, are you okay? I mean, you can message me if you need to message me, and I can just roll the dexterity, and then, which I'm pretty sure I failed anyways.
It's not like, yeah.
No, I did. I failed it. So, I don't hear anything from him.
I think he refreshed.
Yeah, I think he did too. So, I at least am going to take the full damage. So, we'll deal with that when he comes back. But go ahead, Ardian, with your turn, and we'll deal with Argus's damage and where he's at as soon as he reconnects.
Well, I'm going into. Do I have a better hit?
For sure.
And I'm gonna again go for the short bow. Oh, I missed.
Don't forget your D4.
He cast Bless on you guys.
You've been blessed.
Oh.
I bless you, my child. With a 50-50 shot.
Yep.
Yeah, you hit.
Bless is not
Alright.
underrated. I defy
It's an
everyone.
amazing spell. So go ahead and roll damage for me.
6.
Okay. Perfect. I assume that ends your turn.
Yes.
All right, big tanky dude. Let's go, Typhongelos.
Alright. I shall.
Is that a Tyler?
Yes, it's a Tyler. Tyler, can you hear us now? Okay. I'm sorry, Typhongelos. I'm going to put you on hold for just a second.
Okay.
Tyler, I failed my dexterity saving throw. So I need you to roll the 3d8 damage and tell me what the damage is. And where you want. And I assume here is okay, but if it's not, you can totally move.
Oh, internet crashed.
Oh.
Yeah. Are you on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. So 10 fire damage. Perfect. Okay. Cool. So we can resume with Typhongelos. You rolled a 7 to hit.
Yeah.
God, that would have been such good damage too. Yeah, unfortunately that misses. I assume you're staying put though.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of just gonna be staying where I'm at.
Okay.
Keep drawing its attention towards me.
Okay.
Kind of taunting it like, is that the best you can do? Try to pierce my armor.
Come at me. With that, it is Elwyn's turn.
All right. I'm gonna move to here.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna take another short bow shot at him.
Okay.
That
Oh, that
is
just
12 enough?
misses. No,
Just misses.
his armor class is 13.
All right. Okay. And as a bonus
Alright.
action, I'm gonna yell at Argos. I'm like, "What did you do last time to the person who was a zombie?"
Oh,
I sniped him a lot.
No, the floaty thing. The floaty thing.
You also covered him. Float him up in the air.
Man, just place float. Like get one of those a day.
I'll make sure to put that in your tombstone.
um. Oh, that. Never mind. That was dumb. So, the Argus, Typhondra's, Ardian, Alwyn, you guys see as like the fire burnt his body from Argus' spell, that normally the wounds that he would have healed this turn don't happen. Like, the wounds stay. So um Typhondralos does, let's see if I hit. No. But I need a wisdom saving throw from you, please.
Oh, that ain't good.
Really?
Why is it rolling 2?
Hang on, let me try doing it inside multiple, not multiple, D&D Beyond.
Right.
Okay.
It's just, I don't understand why it's doing that.
I don't either. But I see.
27.
Whew, yeah. Nice. So this revenant, you see his eyes that are white, and they suddenly glow from being white to you see like the iris like actually opens to like blue, and he stares you down, and you just feel him like peering into your soul, but you just kind of go, no, and like close your eyes and look away and look back at him for a second, and the effect of whatever he was doing has none on you. And that ends its turn.
You shall not have me so easily.
You just hear him at
You
you.
ain't got time for that.
Argus, your turn. I saw his icon move, but I didn't actually hear anything, so. Tyler, are you with us?
You hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yep, we can hear you.
Ice knife him at first level. I rolled a natural 20 on my saving throw. So it'll take half the damage and half the cold damage. So that's 4 damage. And then I need a dexterity saving throw from Typhondralos, please.
One.
Oh my.
Not natural, but
So you take 6 cold damage, but you're resistant, so it's 3.
no.
This zombie has your number.
Oh no, that was from Argus's ice wave.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Yes, it
Oh,
explodes
oh.
and it hits me too.
Yeah. it does
Gotcha.
apply.
Gotcha.
Anything
Okay.
within 5 feet.
Yep.
So, anything else you're doing, Argus?
Nah. Look down the chain.
Okay. Back up to the top of the round. Ardian.
Yes. I am gonna do another shot with my bow.
Okay.
See if oh, poopy.
Even with bless, that would not save you, unfortunately.
Nope.
So, you shoot, and
I'm
like,
pissed.
as he leans forward and had yelled at Typhangelos, you like see the arrow go like right behind his head. Are you staying?
I'm gonna stay put.
Okay.
I rolled for my save and I got 10 for the concentration of bless.
Okay. So you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for remembering that. I appreciate that a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and give you inspiration for that because I totally forgot. So, first inspiration in the campaign, you guys. I appreciate the honesty. So, Typhangelos, your turn.
Alright, let's see if I can go ahead and put this thing out of its misery.
Go for it.
17 plus 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
And I'm gonna go ahead and Divine Smite this thing.
Oof. Go for it.
So that's 2 extra. I'll spend a skill slot. I'll get to add 2 extra d8 to my damage. Radiant.
Okay.
Oh, if it's undead, it gets so actually technically 3d8 because it's undead.
Correct.
Alright, so it's the damage is a d6 and 3d8.
Oof.
Oh yeah, no. Smite's mean.
17 plus the 4 damage, so 21.
How much of that is the radiant damage?
3 of it is radiant. The 4, 8, and the 4 are the radiant damage. The 1 is from my scimitar plus the 4 from the scimitar. That's 5 slashing damage.
Okay, so it's 21 minus 5 is, so 16 is the radiant damage?
Correct.
Okay. What does your smite spell look like as you like add it to your hit?
Typhangelos kind of like goes low and kind of speaks a few words as he uses the tower shield to kind of give him cover. And he says, "By the frost mourn's tears and all the light that the protectors bear, you shall return to the grave from which you came." As I swing down, a flash of bluish crescent light flashes down with it, along with the blade.
You do this, and as your blade tears into him, the wound splinters open across his chest, and he lets out this howling, piercing shriek of pain that just resonates within your soul, and that hurt super bad, like much more than you expected it to. And does that end your turn?
Yep.
That attack was super effective.
Yeah. Alan, your turn.
All right. We are gonna move. Let's see. Gonna move all the way over to here. instead, I'm gonna move all the way to here. So
Excuse
hopefully
me,
now
pardon
that
me,
that
Argus.
so that way, hopefully, I can present a better target if he comes running this way, but also so that way, Typhontulos gets a flanking advantage, flanking bonus for that. And I'm gonna shoot him again.
We'll have to be within 5 feet of it to be
Oh.
flanking, but you're
Yeah.
good. I mean, I'd rather you at a distance than
Right.
anything.
But yeah. Okay.
Wait, hold on. And
That'll hit.
4. Okay.
That'll hit move before your bless.
Okay. And that's
Ooh.
11 piercing.
Nice.
And we're gonna try and snaring strike one more time.
Uh,
You're always.
I rolled a natural 13. Sorry.
That's all right.
So it's the Revenant's turn. As you shot the arrow into the back of, well, into like the side of him or whatever, as it becomes his turn, you see like that damage is healing.
Dang it.
And then he's just gonna take and whap whap to Typhontulos. And both are gonna miss. Cool story, bro.
Wait.
Yeah,
say that
it just
like
like
it's a bad
bounces off your armor as both his fists
I mean, he
like
does have a
make
power shield,
contact.
so that's a pretty effective
Yeah,
thing.
like one hits your like armor and the other hits the shield and it just does nothing. And he just lets out another scream of fury. Argus, your turn. Say that again.
I think you said acid arrow.
Acid arrow? Both your second level spell slots are already used. According to what I see. And you can't cast it as first level because it's the second levels. Firebolt?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Fire seems to be a good weapon against him.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no. Wait, that was your to hit?
Oh, that was a D10. He just rolled the damage. Actually.
Yeah, you gotta roll to hit.
There we go.
All right.
All right, yeah, we'll take this. We'll take the second one. That 25 to hit, and you just like, as this firebolt emanates from your hands and hits him, and yeah, that he doesn't like that at all. Does that end your turn? Okay, Ardian.
Well, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
All right, go for it.
See if I manage to hit.
Yep.
Yes.
Nice.
I feel like that's one thing they should fix on Roll20 is just shouldn't be like just extra sneak attack and all these other windows. Like it helps like if you're a rogue, but everything else is just like why are you here?
Right. I'm not counting the damage for sneak attack, so like it knows
That's
you're
like
here.
everyone multi-classing into rogues.
Mm-hmm. Well, you
An
know.
option in settings where you could like turn it off.
Yeah.
Well, Drit's Doernan's such a big thing right now.
Yeah, I mean, he is a rogue.
So.
Okay. So, does that end your turn?
Yep.
Typhondralos.
Safe, but
15.
Hits.
Damage on this again, make sure that I'm not doing it wrong. This is a D6. Oh, I was wrong, so it would be 17 because my attack is plus 6.
All good.
So 6 points of slashing damage.
Very nice.
And as they look at this revenant, Typhondralos will go, "It appears that you've been dead for way too long. Your ability to fight is a bit lack."
Are you
Throwing
attempting
shade on the
vicious
dead guy.
mockery?
Somewhat.
Alright. Alan, your turn.
I'm gonna put away the short bow. I'm gonna come up behind this thing. So now I'm flanking.
Perfect. So advantage
And
on the
gonna-
hit.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh, yeah.
Bam. All right.
If you get to 30, is it a crit?
Nice.
All right, and I get one more of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Still hit. And bink. Tink.
Yep.
A hit is a hit, though.
This is true.
They
So
call
you
that holding Argus.
so you slash into it and it's dumb, so it's gonna turn and look at you, but the wounds that you slashed into its back, because of Argus's, you can assume it's safely because of Argus's fire damage, they are not healing. And it is gonna turn and
How's it feeling?
No, not me, him. Hit the big guy.
17 to hit.
That would be a hit.
Can you use my reaction?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my thing of protection to give a disadvantage on the strike.
Okay. I will roll again. That is 12 to hit.
Okay, my arm class is 16, so.
Okay, yeah, so it misses.
Woo! Okay.
As it goes to strike, I'll take my shield and just go wrong person to attack.
And he turns around at you in response. And will take and fling its fist at you since you got its attention. For a 21.
Oh, that'll hit me.
Ooh.
For 7 points of damage.
I will take that 7 points and like it.
And then Argus, your turn.
fire hurts it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, nice. So yeah.
Go squishy boy.
Do you want to describe your fireball at all, or I guess it's fireball.
I think Argus
Firebolt.
is kind of standing over there feeling like not gonna do anything. Spins up another fireball in his hand, looks at it. Why not try again? Throws it.
And you just see it like light up in flames for a second before the flames die out, and it screams in pain. It's starting to look really hurt, you guys. Argus, you
We're
staying
doing
put?
it. We're doing it.
You staying put?
I think I will go for Roy.
Okay.
Sneak, sneak, sneak.
Uh,
He's feeling. I was gonna say a
Bold,
word, and I
adventuresome. What? Bold.
can't.
fortune favors the bold. Ardian, your turn.
We're going to do another. Short bow.
Short bow?
Oh, I missed.
Yeah, unfortunately. He just kind of sees it coming and ducks down as it passes him. Staying put?
Yep.
Typhongelos.
I'll take the 19 plus 6 of 24.
Oh, yeah.
Smack.
Smack the shit out of it.
6 points of slashing damage.
Okay. So the wound opens up again across its chest. Or do you stab it? Like,
I kind of just stab it right through.
yeah. So you stab it right through, and Alwyn, you see Typhongelos's, is it scimitar?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like, curved sword, like, pop through the other end of his body, and then pulls it back out and, sorry. Anything else?
No, that's really all I can do.
Okay. Alwyn, your turn.
All right. We're
This guy
gonna
is
keep
strong.
swinging.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! I think that's a
Natural
is that
20, it's crit.
that's a crit. I was about to
That's
say
a-
that's a crit.
Ah. So,
Roll damage on that.
why is it rolling with advantage? Or is it not? And I'm reading it wrong.
I thought I had advantage because we're
Oh, you're
Yeah,
flanking.
he's
You're right.
flanking with me.
Nope,
yeah,
you're
like,
right.
yeah.
You're right. Fish for that crit, dude.
Yep.
My bad.
So,
So double that damage, or is that
Yep.
doubled?
Yes.
Okay.
No, that's
It's 16.
yeah.
Well,
It'll be 16.
It doubles the dice, not the modifier. So when he rolled on the dice was a 3.
So
You double
6.
that to 6 plus 5, which is 11.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
I've made that mistake many a time.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, you like
I
slash
think
into
you
it,
get
and
one.
you get one more. But yeah, you slash into
more.
it, and you do it with your offhand. What's your offhand attack? Oh yeah, that hits too. Roll damage.
Regular D6. That's 3.
3. Nice.
Eh.
Still pretty good for offhand.
Yes.
All right, so it's his turn. Typhondra, let's pick odds or evens.
Evens.
Oh, yep, it's attacking you.
Yeah. For punishment.
Oh, both my attacks miss. In its weakened state, it like swings one fist at you and hits the shield, and then you feel it like weakly like do that fist pound against as the second one, and just your shield deflects all the damage from it. And it is not healing. Argus.
Fireball.
Did you just roll a...
Oh, squishy.
That's a crit.
That's a crit. Holy shit. So that's 14 points of fire damage. Guess what, Argus? How do you want to do this?
Oh, hang on, wait a second.
Hey boy for the win! Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a straight... It's a cantrip.
The thing looked funny to me on my... Because it shows 20, then 25, and I go, wait a second, why did he roll damage? But it doesn't really matter either way.
Yeah.
It just looks funny on the HUD.
Mm-hmm.
See 26.
Yeah, it's fine.
But
Oh, it was on D&D Beyond. That was why.
Hmm.
Oh.
All right, it's flambéed.
Yep.
That is good.
You got the final kill, bud. He's muted. I'm just gonna describe it for him. So he like kind of goes, "You guys have gotten this, but
Oh,
watch
there it
this."
is.
Oh, do you want to describe how you kill it?
I'll shoot it like a basketball. I'm just going with so many bad attempts for the day. I just nonchalantly like screw it. Super
So
hard like a basketball.
I'm gonna say that as you guys see this firebolt come like arch perfectly, Argus is like, "Move!" and it like lands on top of him, and you guys take a step back as the firebolt lands in its head and like sinks in the top of his head a little bit and then just burns all the way around him, and he just lights up like a Christmas tree as he dies, and then just like falls face first into the snow and is no longer moving. Good job, you guys.
Got a nice campfire going now.
That was an
Just
intense combat too. So, what you guys
Didn't take
see as the like revenant lands into the snow is you physically see for our paladin, you see the soul leaving its body, but it's not going to the afterlife. It is remaining on this plane of existence, but just like takes off in another direction. Um,
That's creepy.
Give me a religion check, Typhondralos.
Religion. Ooh, natural 20 for 22 total.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, you know all the things. Um, so when you were studying in your guilds to be a paladin, they talked about these during your previous time at the academy or whatever you want to call it, that revenants are people who have been killed in a brutal murder. So whoever killed this poor human in life has made it so that his soul cannot rest. And what you know is that if it is not put to rest, that the soul will go find another body that is soulless to inhabit. And then it has the benefits from whoever it is tracking. The revenant knows where their location is and can find them. That's not you guys, but you don't know exactly who
Not
that
us or
is.
now us.
It's not us. It's not you guys. But you don't know this person as you looked at his body before you burned it to a crisp. And it doesn't ring a bell with you guys who this
I
is.
just wonder how he ended up here.
Well, he also had a noose around his neck.
That is correct.
The person who killed this one definitely. His spirit is upset, which is why it's just lashing out. We need to find a way to put him to rest somehow, but if we're able to find any clues along the way, we shouldn't get too sidetracked. As much as I would like to let someone be at peace in their next life, there's still so much to do.
I will say that you do know specifically that if you had the wish spell, you would be able to do something about it.
Ew.
But because you do not, there's really not a lot of options. The only thing you do would be to take the body with you, but until you get that or find someone that has it. But yeah, unfortunately, you just don't have the skill at the moment. That's something that your higher ups inside your guild or whatever we're calling it would have been able to, yeah, the order
Association.
would have been able to do.
Do
So,
you think we'd be able to take it along with us?
Dead corpse that could come back to life. I'm not saying it can, hypothetically. In the cart with
Well,
us.
give me a medicine check.
Can, but I'm gonna stay far away.
Alan, give me a medicine check.
Medicine.
Mhm. Mhm.
Would I be able to make one too?
Sure.
Well, in the Book of Sophocles, they explain this very
22.
elegantly.
Oh yeah, you guys both know this ain't coming back. It's gone. So it's dead.
I ain't sitting next to the dead body.
When you burn a revenant, it does one of two things. It prevents them from regenerating, which you guys experienced during combat, and it prevents them from coming back to life if their soul was to try and re-inhabit their body. Because the soul cannot re-inhabit a body that's been burnt. Especially when it's been burnt with like the smite damage you did earlier and the fire damage. It's kind of a twofold thing.
We killed it with fire.
Yeah. Killed it with fire and holy damage. It's not coming back. So.
Well, like I said, someone else can ride shotgun with it. I ain't.
And this combat's taking place kind of in the early morning before the sun comes up. So you guys would have all gotten your long rests. If you guys want to take another long rest to recover spell slots, that's completely okay. It's up to you. Or you can eat some rations and get on with the next leg of the trip.
Before we were resting, my internet started cracking out. I was trying to fix that.
I am so sorry. I'm having a hard time understanding you.
Now,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out, Tyler.
before when we were resting, I was trying to switch out two of my spells and my internet cracked out.
Okay. Well,
So I do that.
yeah, you can totally do that when your internet gets back up. That's not a big deal. But are you guys wanting to take another rest and heal, or are you guys okay? I know that, or at least a short rest for,
Spell slots to use it.
yeah. Do you guys want to take another 8 hours and relax until like mid-morning and then continue the next trek? And let Tyler's character go back to sleep?
I sleep a lot.
I think,
Go take
I think
another
so.
nap.
Yeah.
All right.
You deserve it, mister.
So I'll say like you wake up, Tyler's gonna wake up at 10, yeah, like 11. I'll say you wake up and have effects of a long rest, so you can change your spell slots when you get your internet back. Is everybody else staying awake? Or are you guys going back to sleep too, or kind of what's the plan for the early morning?
I think
Okay.
I'll take it.
Okay.
I've got more than my 4 hours. I'm good.
Okay. So we'll say that you kind of stay up and keep an eye out on the camp and the dogs and stuff, the dogs during this time were not happy about this thing being so close and kind of freaked out, but they all just like stayed tethered to the tree. But yeah, so I think that is where we're going to end session for tonight. However, dun da da da, level up noise. You guys can level up to the next level for level
Flash of pixie
4.
dust above our heads, and
Yeah.
we've gotten bigger.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. I could not think of the sound for that.
Mhm.
But yeah, so
Yeah, I
you
just
guys
put
level
41
up. So if you
mushrooms.
want to roll for your HP dice real quick, you are more than welcome to. Tyler,
Remind
we
me again.
can. So, are you taking Ardian? Are you wanting to take a level in Bard or a level in Rogue?
Nope.
I'm taking another. I mean, kind of right now keeping them even as much as I can.
Okay.
I'll take another level in Rogue.
Okay, so Rogue HP dice is a D8, I believe.
So I just
Yeah, it's a D8. So roll a D8. Oh, nice. Yeah, and add your Constitution modifier, so that's 12. So your current max override is going to be 40.
so I can take rolled HP to 40.
Yeah, so put in the override max HP, put 40, and that'll be your total. Tyler, Richard, are you wanting to roll yours?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find that little box where I can for my character
What was the override again? Sorry.
or edit character.
It's right next to your name on D&D Beyond. For you, Andrew, it's override max HP. If you click on your HP,
Oh, there it is. There, okay.
and then it's the lower right box.
HP.
Fine.
Okay. All right, we're rolling. Give me a sec. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Come on, big money, big money. Woo, that's an 8.
Nice. Add your Constitution mod and then add it to your
Let's see,
current
that's
total.
11. Yeah.
Nice. Typhangelos, you're having to take average.
Yeah, but it's still a massive amount.
Yeah, 5 plus your Constitution.
Well, it's going to be more because I'm going to be bumping up wisdom and con my ability score.
Oh yeah. So this level for you guys, you can I'm pretty sure that everybody gets it. You either get an ability score improvement or a feat.
Correct.
So if you guys want a feat, obviously they're not going to all show up in D&D Beyond because my sharing stuff's not working correctly, but I can send you, yeah, just Google it and let me know which one you want and I'll change it for you. So,
So what do I do now?
Going for a few. I mean, I'll go with Chromatic Dragon if you'll let me. I will definitely.
I'm completely lost.
do you want me to overwrite your HP for you?
If you can, because I have no idea where the heck I'm supposed to be going.
Yeah, I got it.
I thought I was supposed to go to edit character or edit character.
You do for your levels. Like you click manage levels or whatever and select your second level rogue and anything that it asks you under class features, which you shouldn't get anything, but you do get the disengage action, dash action because you get cunning action at second level as a rogue. So
Oh, I see override max HP now. I clicked on my actual HP.
yeah,
There
if
we
you refreshed it, I just changed it for you.
I am now at 54. All right.
go.
Nice.
How do you determine what the max override is?
It's so you had it at 28 before, and you add 12 because that's what you rolled. You rolled your max HP plus, so your HP dice plus your Constitution modifier. It was 28. You added 12, so it puts you at 40. So you're 8 points above the average for where your character's at.
Okay.
Okay? I never ended our stream while we're sitting here talking about characters. So, anybody that was watching today, thank you guys for listening and thank you for letting us go through our character creation. Hope you guys had a lot of fun. I had a blast. And I am super excited to see for next session if they have to or manage to get the eye that they're after. So dun dun dun. All right, guys, have a good night. Say bye, everybody.
See
Bye-bye.
ya.
Bye.